This conference will now be recorded.
So now come to the course content. So our course content has two parts: basics and advanced. In basics, we are going to cover all the concepts which are common in all versions of EE. So it includes introduction, installation, different consoles, authoring, publishing, architecture stack, page properties, Eclipse installation, AEM plugin, create project, create static template, page rendering component, sample website structure, use basic site APIs, open pages, consoles in touch UI, classic UI, modularizing page rendering components, link resolution, inheritance of components, dynamic navigation component using logger, training title component will create different types of edit dialog, will create different types of design dialog, will create logo component. Then we'll discuss about foundation components, parses, iparses, okay, breadcrumbs, dynamic image component. Then we'll create some complex components. We'll discuss internationalization, client libraries, okay. And in advanced, we are going to cover dynamic templates, policies, layout, creating base templates, content fragment templates, content fragment variation, authoring experience fragments, variations, authoring, tagging, OSGI bundles, workflow basics, customizing the process type of workflow, Sling models, Sling applets, story builder, event handler, content services. So these are the chapters that we are going to cover in our training. So training duration will be 30 hours and every day 1 hour. In every class, we are going to discuss some concept. Based on that concept, you have to do some exercises in your system. I'll simply guide you how to do that. Okay, so that at the end of the training, you will have a good hands-on experience. Okay, you can work on any AM project directly. So now come to the introduction. So as you know, AEM is a Java-based content management system. Okay. So what is content management system? Content management system is a tool using which you can create the website and manage the content of your website dynamically. So some of the websites created using CMS are like your news websites where you can see some content right now. After 5 minutes, if you refresh the page, you will be able to see different content. So they are changing the content. So those websites are created using some CMSs. So there are different CMSs available in the market. Like we have WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, Groundbreak, Tridian, AEM, Sitecore, and all. Okay, so everyone is preferring AEM over other CMSs. Okay, we will discuss why everyone is preferring. So first we'll see history of AEM. Actually, there was a company called Day Software, and they had a product called Communic, okay, or CQ5. Later, Adobe took over that company, and they renamed that product from CQ5 to AEM. So now it is AEM, Adobe Experience Manager. So earlier it was CQ5. Okay. Why AEM is in demand in the market? Actually, Adobe is having a product called Adobe Marketing Cloud. In that product, there are a number of tools. Okay, so AEM is one of the tools. Like AEM, we have Adobe Analytics, Audience Manager, Campaign, Target, Social, Prime Time, and all. Okay, so Adobe sells Adobe Marketing Cloud. When the customer buys that, they will get all the tools provided by Adobe Marketing Cloud. So using those tools, they can easily create one revenue generating website. Okay. So if you want to create a revenue generating website, Adobe Marketing Cloud provides a complete solution for that. Okay. For example, you want to display some ads. So in Adobe Marketing Cloud, we have a tool called Adobe Campaign. You can use those campaign tool to show the ads on your screen. If you want to implement personalization concept, okay, so in Adobe Marketing Cloud there is a tool called Adobe Analytics, another called Adobe Target. So if you integrate Adobe Target, Adobe Analytics with AEM, you can easily implement the personalization concept. Okay, so Adobe Marketing Cloud provides a complete solution for your creating one revenue generating website, while other content management systems don't provide that. Okay, if you create your website using Groundbig and Tridian and you want to display some ads, you have to buy some third-party tool for that. You have to reach out some other vendor. You have to buy that tool, integrate that particular campaign tool with the other content management system. Okay, so that integration will be a lot of time consuming and it will cost you a lot. So instead of doing that, if you use Adobe Marketing Cloud, you will get a complete solution. So that is the reason Adobe Marketing Cloud is in demand, and AEM is used. AEM is one of the tool of Adobe Marketing Cloud, and it is used to create your website and manage the content. Okay. So everyone is preferring AM. Why? So customers are preferring, why? You understood, right? So there is a type of users called content authors. In any content management system, there is a type of user called content authors. Okay. So content authors are the persons who will change the content of your website, manage the content of the website. Okay. So for content authors, AEM provides a very flexible and friendly environment to manage the content. While other CMSs, you don't find those features. Okay, it will be very hectic to change the content of your website, but in AEM it will be very easy. Okay, so that is the reason all the content authors are also preferring AEM. And for developers, AEM provides one sample website. Okay, if you want to develop your website, we can refer that, reuse that. You'll get a lot of out-of-the-box components, templates. So from AEM itself, we'll get a lot of help as a developer. Also, AEM is very easy to learn. So that is the reason all the developers are preferring, content authors are preferring, business users are preferring, and AEM is in demand in the market. Okay, that's why we are learning AEM here. Okay, so now come to the instances of AEM. Hope you have gone through the recordings, videos of the demo. So I'm just quickly going through that. Okay, there are two instances of AEM: author instance and publish instance. So author instance is the instance where the actual development happens. Okay, so what exactly we are developing here? We are developing the website. Right? We are website means we are creating the pages of your website. Right? How to create the pages of your website? Who will create the page? So content authors are the persons who are going to create the pages of your website. To create the pages, they need templates. Okay. So templates are developed by the developers. Down the content author created the pages. The pages are empty, blank. He wants to show some content on the pages. Okay. To show the content, they need components. Components are developed by the developers. So developer will develop templates, components, authoring interfaces, Java classes, JavaScript, all those things. And the content author will create the website, create the pages, will add content on the pages. Everything will happen in your author instance. Okay. So your entire website development happened in author instance. Once everything is developed, you have to publish. Why? Because you want to expose your website to the end users. Okay. Once you publish everything, whatever you developed to the publish instance, okay, it will be available for the end users. So publish instance is just like a container, okay, which contains the latest, the final content of your website. Okay. So you are not supposed to do any changes in your publish instance. So if you want to do some changes in the content, first do that change in author instance, then publish. Okay, it will come to the publish instance. So author instance and publishing. Author instance for development and publish instance is exposed to the end user. Whatever you develop, you have to publish so that the end users can see it, view it. Okay. So now come to the templates and the components. Okay, so like author instance and publish instance, there is another tool called dispatcher. So sometimes it is also called as another instance of the AEM actually. So Dispatcher sits in between your publish instance and the end user. When the end user types the URL, okay, in your browser, so that URL, that request will hit the dispatcher first. Okay, and dispatcher will hit the publish instance, retrieves the content, and stores the static content in a temporary storage device. After 5 minutes, 10 minutes, if the user refreshes the same page, the request will again hit the dispatcher. Now dispatcher will hit the publish instance only for the changed content. The rest of the static content it will retrieve from the temporary storage device where it's stored when the page loaded first time. Okay, so this process is called as caching. So dispatcher is responsible for caching and load balancing. Okay, load balancing means let's say your website has a lot of users. Okay, so and your publish, let's say you have only one publish instance, and your publish instance is not able to bear that much load. Okay, let's say thousands of users want to try, want to do some transaction on your website, and your website is having a single publish instance. Okay, so all the requests will hit the same publish instance, and your publish instance will be very slow and can crash also, right? So you have to create multiple publish instances. Now the dispatcher will distribute the load among different publish instances. This is called as the load balancing. Okay. So dispatcher is responsible for caching and load balancing, as it is going to distribute the load among different publish instances. So if you see this diagram, you can easily understand how the content flows from the authors to the end users. So these are the authors. Okay. So authors will author the pages, add some content on the pages, and they will publish it. Okay. So if you have multiple publish instances, all the publish instances will have the same content. Okay, whatever authors created, they have to publish to all publish instances. Now the end user browse the URL in the browser. Their request will hit the dispatcher. Dispatcher will hit the publish instance, retrieve the content, and display to the end user. Okay, this is how the content flows from the authors to the end users. Okay, so now come to the templates and components. So what is template? So templates are markups or layouts to create your page. Okay. So as I told, to create a page in AM, we need templates. Okay. We need template. Okay. The content author will create the page. Right. So to create a page, the content author needs a template. Templates are developed by the developer. Okay. Once template is developed, when the content author create a page using that template, you will be able to see the placeholders on their page. Okay, so the placeholders are actually provided by the developer. So there will be a placeholder for header, footer, body, right panel, and all. Okay, in those placeholders, content author will drag and drop the components. Okay, so templates are layouts to create a page. For example, your home page, customer care page, product page. So all the pages have different layouts or markups, right? So those layouts or markups are created by the developer. Okay. For content or for the product page, there will be a different template. For home page, there can be a different template. Customer care page, there can be a different template. So using that template, when the content author creates pages, you will be able to see placeholders on the pages. In those placeholders, you will drag and drop the components. So what are components? Components are reusable functional blocks. Okay. For example, logo can be a component. Banners can be components. So they are reusable. You can reuse the logo component in one page as well as in 100 pages. Banner component can be reused, right? And it should have some functionality. What is the functionality of logo? If you click on that, it will take you to the home page of your website, right? So logo, navigation, logo, top navigation, we have images. So all those things are components. So components are developed by the developer, used by the content authors to show the content on your pages. Okay. So using templates, you will create page. On those pages, the content author will drag and drop the components and author it to show the content on your pages. Okay. So these are the introductions that we covered in the first class. Okay. Fine. So now come to the different consoles available in AM. So I installed AM 6.5 in my system. Okay. I installed both the instances, author instance and publish instance. So right now I opened the localhost colon 4502 /arx/de. So this is one of the console provided by AM. Okay. So So once you install the author instance in your system, you will be able to access number of consoles. Okay. So AEM provides a number of consoles for different functionalities. So this CRXD Lite is one of the console. Okay. So this is actually a browser-based editor. CRXD is a browser-based editor. Browser-based editor means you have to type the URL in your browser, then you will be able to access it. So you know editors like Eclipse, NetBeans, those are window-based editors. You need to double click on the exe file, the editor will open. There you can develop Java applications, web applications, and all. But this is browser-based. You have to type the URL. The editor will open, provided your author instance is up and running. Okay. So using this editor, you will be able to develop AEM applications. So in this editor, in the left side, you will find number of folders. Okay, apps, bean, content. So as a developer, you need to know why those folders are there and what can you do in those folders. Okay. So first we'll discuss about the apps folder. So in apps folder, the developer is going to create all the static templates and all the components for your entire website. So to create your website, you need to create the pages. To create a page, you need templates. So templates will be created in apps folder, static templates actually. There are two types of templates, static templates and dynamic templates. So first we'll discuss about static templates, later we'll discuss dynamic templates. Okay. So static templates can be created in apps folder and all the components for your website can be created in apps folder by the developer. Okay. Once the template is created, the content author can use those templates to create the page and use those components to show the content on the pages. So in apps folder, you can see number of folders. Okay. So there is a folder called WE Retail. Okay. So in this version of AEM, Adobe provides one sample website called WE Retail, okay, for our reference. Okay, if I want to develop my own website, I can refer this. How things are done here. I can reuse the concepts, reuse the things also. Okay. So in apps folder, you will find a folder called WE Retail. So this is the WE Retail project. Okay, under WE Retail, you will find number of folders like components, config, content, I-89 install, right? So number of folders are there. So if you want to create your static templates, you have to create a folder called templates here. If you want to create all the components of your website, you need to create a components folder here. Okay, templates and components folder needs to be created in your project specific folder. So they created wretail. If I want to create my own website xyz.com, abc.com, then under apps I have to create a folder called abc or xyz. Under that I have to create a folder called templates. So under wretail you won't find that folder. Why? Because they have not created any static template. Okay. If you want to create any static template, you have to create a folder called templates. Then create another folder called components to create all the components for your website. So let me expand this components folder. Okay. So here you can see all the components for wretail website. For example, image. So image is a component. So how I know that image is a component? I select image, okay, in the left panel, and this is your properties panel. Okay, so there are multiple properties are there. Among those properties, there is a property called JCR colon primary type, row number 5, and the value is showing CQ colon component. Okay, so all the components are having primary type called CQ colon component. So they created all the components here. So similarly, if I want to create my own website and the components, then I have to create a folder called components under ABC or XYZ, and under that all the components needs to be created. Okay. Then if I want to create static templates, then there should be a folder called templates. So apart from those folders, you will find some other folders. If you want to create your client library, so client library, what is client library? We'll discuss that later. Okay, so in AEM, we use client libraries to create and use our JS and CSS files. Okay, this is overall idea. So you can create a folder for your client libraries here, like they have done client libs. Okay, you can create config if you want to create a specific configuration for your project. Like if you want to create your log file, own log file, then you have to create config folder. Then I18N, if you want to implement internationalization in your project, you can create a folder called I18N. Okay, and there is a folder called install. If you expand it, you'll find a jar file. So this is the OSGA bundle actually. So what is OSGA bundle? We'll discuss later. So anyway, so you have to create a folder under apps, and under that folder you have to create some subfolders for your project. So among those subfolders, templates components are required folders, under which we are going to create all our static templates and components. So apps folder for developers to create static templates and components. Now the content author will create the pages of your website. To create the pages, they need templates. So templates are created. So where the website and its pages are created, parallel to the apps folder, you'll find another folder called content. Okay, if I expand it, I'll find folder called wretail inside that under content. So this is actually your website. Okay, under apps we have wretail, but this is a folder. Under this we create our templates and components. But this is actually your website. Under content folder, your website will be created, wretail. So if I expand wretail, yes. So you can see US, CA, CS. So these are country specific pages of your website. Okay, if you want to launch your website in multiple countries, US, CA, CH and all, then you have to create country specific pages of your website under the root page. So this is the root page of your website. These are the country specific page. Every country specific page will have language specific page. Let's say under US. In US, I want to launch my website in two languages, in English and Spanish. So I created two language specific page under US, EN and ES. Okay, under EN, all other pages of my English website will be created. Okay, so you can see under EN, experience, menu, main equipment, all the pages are created under English. All the pages will have content in English language. Similarly, you have to create all the pages under ES which will have content in Spanish language. Okay. So if you are going to create your website, first create the root page, then country specific page, then language specific page. Under that, all other pages of your website. Okay, and it is going to be stored in the content folder in your CRXD. So this is the place where the website and its pages are stored, but where the website is created. Our templates components are created here, but the websites are not created here. Websites and these pages are not created here. So there is a separate console for that. Okay, so let me open. Okay, so there is a console called site admin. Okay, using this console, you can create your website and its pages. So in CRXD under content folder, we see W written, right? That is your website, and when you expand, all the pages are there. So that website actually created in this console and stored there. So how the website is created? So here you can see the root folder is website. Okay. Under that you will find W retail. So that W retail website is actually created here. Okay. So W retail is your root page. The root page is created in site admin console. Under that we have US. So it is showing United States. But in CRXD you will find US. So actually every page will have a title and a name. Okay. So the title is getting displayed in site admin console. Name will be displayed in CRXD. United States is the title, US is the name. So under W retail root page, we have United States. This is the country specific page. Under that we have English, Espanol. These are language specific pages. Okay. So under each language specific page, we have all other pages of our website. Okay. So pages are created using this console. How the pages are created? Let's say I want to create a page under main. Okay. So W retail root page, United States, language specific page. Under that I have a page called main. Under main I am going to create a new page. So how to create a page? Here you will find a new button. Beside that you will find a drop down. Okay. Click on new page. Okay. So this is the widget to create your new page. So you have to enter the title of your page. Let's say sample page. I want to create a page with title sample page. So name is not mandatory actually. If you want any specific name, you can give it, otherwise leave it blank.
So what is the
And
difference between sites.html and here? We can also create page there, right?
correct. So sites.html supports your touch enabled devices. So I'll move to that.
Okay. Yeah, just has question. Yeah.
So these are the templates. Okay. So these templates are created by the developers. Once it is created successfully, it will be visible here. Okay. Now the content author is creating the page. So he has to enter the title, name, and select a template. Let's say number of templates are there. I want to create a page using this particular hero page template. So I will create it. Okay, sample page is created. Okay, under main. Okay, this is our entire website. W retail root page, United States English and all. So I created a page called sample page in main. So as I told, you can find your page in content folder. Okay, you can find your website and its pages in content folder. So in content folder, I'll refresh this. Okay, W retail, I refresh W retail USEN. So this is the page created in site admin, and you can find it in content folder in your CRX. Okay. So if you want to create any website in AEM, so this is the ideal structure for that. First, root page should be created, and if you want to launch your website in multiple countries, country-specific pages needs to be created. If under each country, if you want to create your website in a particular language, then language-specific pages should be created, like English and Espanol, right? So we have to follow this ideal structure to create our website. Okay. So using this site admin console, you can create your website and its pages. So you ask me what is sites.html. So let me open that also. So this is another console of AEM. Whatever you can do using site admin, the same thing can be done using sites. Okay. So site admin console only supports your classic UI devices. That is your laptop and desktop. Okay, but sites.html supports all classic UI devices as well as touch UI devices. Okay, touch UI devices means your mobile phone, your tablets, and all. Means using a tablet you can access the sites.html, you can create the pages, you can open the page, author the content of the page. Okay, but in your tablet, if you open site admin, okay, maybe some of the UI will not look good, some of the functionality may not work, but your site admin can be opened using any touch enabled devices, but functionality and UI may or may not work. So that is the reason they have introduced sites.html. Okay, so earlier they are the only site admin, now both site admin and sites both are there, sites.html. So this is your touch touch UI enabled interface, or touch UI enabled interface to create your website and its pages. So you can see there is a create button here. Okay, let's say W retail, United States, English, main. Okay, if you want to create my page, create page, your page will be created. Okay, same thing can be done. Okay, whatever you did in site admin, same thing can be done using sites.html. So in site admin console, you'll find a green color toolbar here. Okay, so the second icon is selected. That is your site admin. Now I am going to click on the next icon. Okay, so you can see the URL localhost colon 4502/damadmin. So this is another console provided by AEM. You will be able to access this console provided your author instance is up and running. So this is your DAM admin console. What is the DAM admin? DAM stands for Digital Assets Management. Using this console, you will be able to manage the digital assets. So what is digital asset? When you create any website, you need a lot of images. You may need some documents, right? So let's see, for example, this W retail. So under W retail, we find English, pictures. So these are some images, right? So you may need some documents also. You may need videos. So all those things are digital assets. Okay. So we need digital assets for our website. So using this console, you can manage the digital assets. Let's say in your website you want to use some 200 images. So first you have to upload all those 200 images to your DAM using this DAM admin console. Okay, so here you can create folders. Under that folders, you can create subfolders. Like you want to create your website xyz.com. So create a folder called xyz. Under that, you can have subfolders like icons, banners, okay, documents. Under each subfolder, you can upload some images, documents, and all. Okay, so let's say I want to upload one image. So under features, I want to upload. So you have to select features, click on new file. Okay, if you want to create a new folder also, you can do that. So create new file, then you have to browse the image, document, whatever you want to use in your website. And if you have multiple images, you can select all the images at a time. Okay, so you can upload the images using DAM admin console. You can copy paste, you can delete it. Okay, so once you upload the images, you will be able to upload the digital assets. You will be able to find it in content DAM folder. So here is that folder. This is your content folder. Under that, this is the DAM folder. Okay, content DAM folder. Here I can find all the digital assets. Okay, so here let's say W reader under EM. So those digital assets are uploaded in DAM admin console. Okay, and I can find it here. It's stored here in the content DAM folder. Okay, so these are DAM admin. Whatever images you uploaded, or you can copy the images from one folder to another folder. You can delete the images. So you can manage the images using this console. Okay. So this DAM admin console is a classic UI console. Okay, there is an equivalent touch UI console also there. That is assets.html. Okay. Localhost 4502. Okay. So this is your assets.html. Whatever you can do using DAM admin console, same thing can be done using assets.html. You can create the folders, you can create subfolders, you can upload the images, copy, paste, delete, you can create, upload the documents. Okay. So using assets.html, I mean, you will be able to open assets.html in touch enabled devices. We can upload the images, we can create the folders, delete. So all the activities can be done. Okay. But if you try to open a DAM admin using your touch enabled devices, maybe the UI may or may not work. Some of the functionality may not work. Okay, that is the reason they introduced assets.html. Okay, so we have covered CRX3 console, site admin, DAM admin, and in CRX3 we have seen the apps folder, content DAM folder. Okay, so any questions, doubts till now?
Yeah, I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. You mentioned about the load balancing and all, right? So will that be a part of this training? Because
This is for developers training. Okay, so load balancing and all these are purely administrative level. I mean administrating things. So we are not going to cover all those things, but I can give you the brief idea about the dispatcher. I can show how the dispatcher can be configured and how the dispatcher.ani file looks like and what can changes you can do there. So I'll show all the basic things. Okay.
okay, so will you assist us in doing that local setup at least?
Dispatcher setup. So it's
Yeah.
straightforward. I can share one document. You can follow the steps you will be able to do.
Okay. Also, for the post-processing, pre-processing and all, like in my project, they have used filters, then transformers and all. So, but that is not in the part of this topic. So, will you cover that?
No, we are not going to cover those things.
Okay, okay. Is there any option for personal training, like one-to-one?
No, right now I don't have that much time. So, uh, yeah, due
Okay.
to bandwidth issues, so I take the batches.
Okay, because like one of my friend attended the previous batch, he said like he need, I mean, like one comment which he said like he needed more time with the trainer to understand the concepts in depth. So that is why I am asking.
Mhm. Okay, so for developer, what are things required? We are covering. We will do the exercises. So that is enough to start the development in any project actually. And as you saying, the concepts which are, I mean, this is the things that are done by the experienced resources, right? So those things we are not going to cover.
Okay,
Not
okay,
experience actually. Mostly these are done by the administrators.
okay. No, but that is Java coding, right? Transformer
Yes, yes,
filters
yes.
and all.
Hmm.
Okay, how will admin will do the Java coding?
No, no. Yeah, so the developers, there are some specific developers who are having admin knowledge. So only those persons can take those.
Okay, and this workflow process and all, like any help that we get in the development here? Because I want, I mean, to understand my project completely. So will there be any one-to-one session for at least one class to understand like my project structure?
In one class, it will be very difficult to understand one complete project, right? So yeah, I
Okay.
can just give some overall ideas to what is this, what is that, but it will be very difficult to understand in one class.
Okay. So I mean, see, after attending this training, I'm planning to switch my company. So any assistance will be given for that. Like you have any interview questions like that?
Yeah, I have all the interview questions. So if you go through that, at least 60% questions you will get for any interview.
Okay. Okay. No, last batch, right? Like my friend told, like there is only they share the link only, like some on-site. I mean, like
No,
online
no,
link they shared.
no, no, no. There is one document. Maybe
Okay.
didn't receive or yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. That is all my questions.
Okay. Anything else? Yes.
Hi, sir. We have CRS deal, right? Our project related data all be available in CRS deal, right? It is
Uh-huh.
like database.
So here we don't have a database. All the data, all the informations, properties stored in the form of folders, nodes, properties, and all.
All these folders will be available in our local, right?
Yes,
In our
yes,
local file
yes.
system. Then
Mm-hmm.
if we move our code to dev stage or other environments, where it will store?
No, sorry, I didn't get your question. Can you repeat again?
If your files are moving to dev or QA or stage other environments, all this
Mm-hmm.
data will be stored to which place?
So we have author dev, we have author QA, we have author product, right? So we have author instance for your local host. You have author instance for dev environment, QA environment, okay, for your product environment. So whatever you develop in your local, okay, so you can take to your dev environment by creating a packages, by creating the bundles, okay, and from there you can move to QA environment. So from there you can move to the prod environment. So for storing in author, prod, or QA, the folder structure and everything will look same.
Okay.
Okay.
One more quick question. We discussed about other publish and dispatcher, right? So
Hmm.
in that are we running separate instance for dispatcher?
So actually, a dispatcher runs on Apache server, so you have to do that setup separately. Okay, you
Okay.
can't access it by installing the author instance and all. So usually, if your laptop or system is having high configuration, more RAM size and all, then only your dispatcher will work. Otherwise, your system will hang.
Okay. Inbuilt we have, right? That one.
No, inbuilt we don't have. You have to do the installation separately.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, guys. So yeah. So as Srinivas is communicating, if you want to enroll, just get in touch with them. Okay. And once the enrollment is done, we'll do the installation in your system. Okay, so that you can start the development and all the exercises in your own system. Okay, so for enrollment, just get in touch with the organizer, training organizer, Srinivas Sampath, and the rest of the things will be taken care by them. Okay. Any other questions or any questions to Sampath, Srinivas, you can just go ahead. You can
Yeah.
discuss.
Whether knowledge on this classic UI is important because Adobe is also not going to give support for classic UI, and almost all projects, like mostly in 6.4, 6.5, they are in touch UI, right? So whether can I skip this classic UI and then have more topics on advanced, on touch UI?
So we are not doing anything specific to classic UI. Okay, maybe while creating the dialog, you will see how to create the dialogues in classic UI and all. But everything will work in touch UI. And classic UI also important because all the projects are not created using 6.4 or 6.5. You will find projects in 6.0 also, 6.1 also. So next project you
Also,
don't know which version you are going to work, right?
oh,
So if you are
okay.
going to start a new project, then touch UI is sufficient for that.
Okay. Also, like everything will be like latest topics on Cycling only, right? Not on JSPs, right?
And no JSP. All the components will be developed in Cycling.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, guys. So get in touch with the organizer and enroll. We'll see in the next class. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.